Okay, right, now we get to the superpowers. Now, when you are coming, when you're going to claim that you can deliver a high value result to a high value client that very few other people can deliver, and you can take away all the annoying stuff that's normally associated with, and you can give them a time frame. What you really need is you need some way to justify how you're able to do that, right? This seems plausible. Okay, so you either need a superpower, a secret weapon, or a secret source. So a superpower, Superman has superpowers. He could fly. I think he had X-ray vision. He was bulletproof and very strong, right? So a superpower for an architect or designer would be some sort of gift that you have, that you kind of know you've got, and that other architects might say, man, you are gifted at that. Or that is, I wish I could do that. Right? It's something that you just have. And maybe I find that most architects come into the profession, it's usually a calling, and they don't go into the profession without already having some sort of innate ability around design. Because people don't just accidentally go into design because they couldn't get a BA or something. It's like you wouldn't do that. You get called into being an architect. So, do you have a superpower? Now, just type in here. Type in, please. Let's just have a look and see what people have got. Okay, the secret weapon, on the other hand, Batman didn't have any superpowers, but he had a utility belt and he had his Batmobile, right? So he had tools and resources that other people didn't have, right? Now, you might have virtual reality software. You might have a network of great tradespeople or contractors that you can reach. A network would be a secret weapon, some sort of tool or resource. Okay, and then the other one, and so each of these, we're looking for something to justify why you can get a high value result for a high value client when other people can't, and you can take away the bad stuff that goes with it. Secret sauce, grandma's secret bolognese sauce recipe, the one that's handed down from generation to generation. This is where you have some method or technique for either the whole process or particular parts of the process that you have that other people don't have, right? Shared trading formula. The $1 million message is a secret sauce, right? It's a method. The LCC is a secret sauce. I mean, other people don't have it. They're probably stealing it now, but it was created here. Okay, before. So there's a $7 billion a year industry, and it's called the weight loss industry. And their whole marketing strategy is based on this one technique, really, isn't it? It's the before and after photos. That's all they do. They just show a fat lady and then a skinny lady, a fat man, skinny man. Skinny man's always browner, smiling, teeth are whiter, seems to have more hair and certainly smiling more. But that's what they do, the side-by-side comparison. So it's really hard for people to understand anything new unless you put it in context. And this is where you can put it in context. So whatever you're describing, whether it's your services, whether you're doing $1 million message for your overall service or result that you can achieve, or for a particular component within your services, like an LCC, you could do $1 million message for the LCC. Whatever, you need all these elements. So before, you need to talk about someone confused, sitting on, well, confused. You show all the before stuff. I'll give you an example in a minute. And after, right? What life looks like after. Now, don't give them general. Don't give general. Don't use broad, general words. Be specific. Okay, and these aren't very good, right? These are not specific. I'll give you some examples in a minute of where it's way more specific. So paint a picture for people. Give them a real life scenario of before and after when they use this thing that you're talking about. Okay, let me give you a real life example here. This is one The high value client in this case was a property investor, and it was me. So it's easy for me to do this for myself because I was the person. So I'm writing this for someone like me, and this would be $1 million message for someone like me. Okay, so let's have a quick look at the property investors' priorities. And I know these are true. Priority number one, when they're investing, they don't want to lose money. Okay, it's not great if they come out and they break even, but it is bad to lose money, and you can lose money in property investment and property development. That's the number one priority. Number two priority, make money. Number three, have great design. If it was a choice between making, I don't know, $500,000 or having a great design that I was really happy with, I'll take the $500,000, right? Now, do I want good design? Yes, but not at the expense of $500,000, right? No, I don't make $500,000 every day. I'm a small-time property investor, but I do think this way. Okay, so the high-value client is, let's say, a property investor. Now, the architect's priorities, you've got to be aware. Usually, it's I want to do a great design. I want something that's sustainable, and I want to win awards. Okay. Now, if you go in with your mindset, you'll disconnect with the property investor, property and developer, which is why you might go, oh, I don't like working with them. They can be great to work with, but you do need to understand them, right? So for those of you who have done your own developments, you'll understand. And the few architects I've had who have gone after this market, these are the discussions we've had. So let's say the high value client is a property investors with room to add an extra dwelling. So this is very specific. In this case, I'm after property developers who have land and they can put another building on that land, right? They can develop the land. High value problem, don't know the best options for the land that will give the best return on investment. Don't want to make an expensive mistake. Don't want to go down the track, spend a whole lot of money, and then someone says, you could have actually put 2 units on that bit of land. You what? Yeah, you could have put 2 on. Why didn't you tell me? Well, you didn't ask. You just came and said, okay, well, what are my options? My expensive problem is not picking the best option, not knowing the best option up front. Okay, the high value result is identifying the number one money-making option. Okay, without having to get the design done. I don't want the design done. I just want to know what is my best option. Can you do that for me without going too deep into, where the sun is and all that type of stuff? I just want to know how many I can get on there. Can I get 1, 2, 3, 4? Right? Obviously, 4 is going to be better than 1. But if I go, I understand if I go for 4, it's like different zoning, and it's going to be harder. And how much harder is it going to be? Is it possible to get 4 on there, or is that just ridiculously hard and really the only option is 1? I'm going through this exactly at the moment, right? I know this inside out. Okay, I get that it's going to be harder. How much harder? Right? Can it be done? Okay. Even if you've never built before. Well, I've never built a house before, right? We've renovated a bit, but never built a house. So, yep, that is a concern. I don't know. I know I don't know what I don't know. Okay, now 30 days. It can take, let's say an architect was doing this for me, take you 30 days to work out, go through all the options. I'll charge you $3,000 and I'll tell you what the best option is. Great. And actually, I've literally just done that. I haven't got the invoice yet, but it cost me $3,000 with an architect who's on the 6th program who lives in my area, and that's exactly what he's gone away and done. Okay, it's worth $3,000 to me to know the best option. To you, you might go, well, that's crazy, it's obvious or whatever. It's not to me. I mean, I own 6 properties, right? So I'm not completely green, but I don't know how to develop on land. So it's an expensive problem if I get it wrong. So it's worth investing $3,000 to at least know my best option. Okay, so now what is, in this case, what's your superpower? Well, if an architect have developed property themselves, then I would say then you have skills and abilities that most architects don't have. You know how to think like a property investor, right? Secret weapon, Could be my ROI spreadsheet. I have a spreadsheet that works out the configurations and how many you can get on a site and roughly what it's going to cost and roughly what it's going to be worth, and I can fill it in. I can speak to realtors and they can give me an idea on property values, and I can come back and calculate it all and what the rents might be. And this is exactly what happened, right? So this is what Mona did for me. This is on another project. So we're just almost about to finish a different house. But this is what she did. I said, I want to know this stuff first. So she created a spreadsheet which mapped out all the different options, the costs, and boom. And what's your secret sauce? Well, if you were going to be offering this particular service and you were going to target these type of, and I'm not saying you should, this is a thing that you should do. I'm just giving you a live example. But if you were going to target property investors who could put a second unit on their land, then I would create a thing called the ROI Road Map, which would be my LCC, which includes the ROI spreadsheet and includes my knowledge about property development. And I've got a pretty neat little package there that's pretty attractive and instantly appealing to someone like me. Okay, so before, what are you doing? Doing nothing. You're not sure of the best options and you're missing out on rent and capital gain, right? After, you know exactly what is possible. You have a simple one-page action plan and you get the chance to do it right first time. So if I was to turn all this into $1 million statement, okay, we help property owners with room for a second building who are frustrated and confused about what is the best option for their land, given they want to make the most money, go from missing out on rents and capital gains because they're not doing anything, to knowing what the best option is with a simple one-page plan and a directory of all the right contacts based on what they need. And we can put all that together for you within 30 days using our ROI Road Map, without having to get any design done, or even if you've never built before. Okay, so there is my core little statement, right? Now I've got that $1 million message because it contains everything I need really. I can spin it a number of ways. I can make it longer or shorter, depending on where I'm using it, right? So what are some of the places? We're going for time because I want you guys to create a $1 million message for yourself. All right, so let me just minimize my screen. But what are the places you could use it? You could use it on a website. You could use it in any articles you get. You could use some adapted version of the statement when you're being introduced, if you're speaking. This statement would be the core. Every time you're speaking to someone in that high value client, then you would refer to this and you would adapt that statement.